Welcome to Renewed and Radiant for women over 40 who are ready to own their power, prioritize their wellness, and design a life they love. I'm your host, Elsa Martin, and I'm here for the real, raw conversations that we all crave. Whether we're talking healing, hormones, purpose, or pleasure, nothing is off the table. So grab your tea, your journal, or just your earbuds, and let's dive into the empowered, vibrant life that is waiting for you because your next chapter starts now. I am pumped today because who I get to talk with today, she's a mom, she's a wife, she is an encourager, she is like the energizer buddy. I'm not kidding you. And most of all, I get to call her friend. So this is amazing that I get to have Keely with me today. Thank you for joining us. Okay, let's do a little rapid fire. Number one, if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Ireland or Australia.
Cool. Favorite healthy food?
Oh. Currently dried mango.
Nice. Okay. Scariest thing you've ever done?
Be a mother.
You know what? When I was writing that question out, I was like, for me, bringing my first child home from the hospital.
Oh, no kidding. No kidding. They should not just hand them over to you and be like, okay, bye. You're like, where's the manual?
Exactly. What do I do with this thing? Help.
Yeah, that one. I mean, I've done some pretty scary stuff, but that one I think takes the cake.
And Keely has a daughter, and then she has twins too. So
Yes.
she's experienced this full on. She's speaking from experience.
Yeah, no, I almost didn't leave the hospital. I was like, are you sure? Are you sure I'm ready to go home?
Yeah, I don't know about this. Oh, so good. I love it. Thank you. That's it. Okay, Keely, I want to hear some of your story. How did you even get into fitness? What has it done for you? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I struggled with body image issues and eating disorders that started way back when I was 12. So at 12, I started running out in my country roads because I didn't want to get fat. And some of that was I have some fat phobic family members. And so, like, the word fat was thrown around, and, it was just treated like, fat was like a disease. And I internalized that as like, oh my gosh, can't be there. And so I struggled well into my late 20s with that. And I did the traditional, spent hours on the cardio equipment at the gym, just beating my head against a wall because I wanted to be, an air quotes, skinny. And the problem was I reached, at my lowest point, I was 102 pounds, which is not good. Anybody who knows me, I sit around 142 pounds, and I'm really happy at my 142 pounds. My body really loves where I'm at. And so I still even look back at pictures and I'm like, wow, look at that. It was just gross. And at that, all I could see in the mirror was, well, if I could lose 3 more pounds, I would be, 99 pounds, and then I would be happy. And, it's funny now you see a lot of Instagram stuff popping up about my generation and how we never had a chance when, what the tabloids said. And there was oh, you're probably not hungry. You're just thirsty. Go have a glass of water. And it's like, yeah, no, you might actually be hungry. So you fast forward, a huge positive change in my life was my husband. He, bless his heart, he always has just found confidence to be the sexiest thing in a female. And I do vividly remember one day I was having a meltdown about my body, and he's like, well, I just think you're the sexiest when you're confident. And I'm just like, what? Like, that's a foreign concept. And, so he helped to start those wheels turning. Flash forward, we get married, we're starting to talk babies, and I'm starting to get really tired, just tired of the cardio grind. There is only so many hours you can spend on a treadmill trying to get skinny and nothing changing, because as we've all learned, you can't outrun a bad diet, right? So then we get married, we later decide to have a baby, and I bring home the scariest thing in my life. I bring home this beautiful little girl, and I remember I was early 30s looking at her being like, I never want to do anything to make you think you're less than absolutely everything. And it was a very clear moment where it's just like, I have to mirror that. Like, I can't expect her to never think that she's enough if I'm sitting here trashing my body and saying, "Oh, you're not good enough." And at the heart of that, it's my daughter and my kids. I never want them to see themselves as not enough because they look a certain way. So then
That's
you fast
powerful.
forward. We are originally from the States. When my daughter was 1, we moved to Canada, and I found the Crab Apples gym. They were the only gym in town that had childcare, and I was like, "Well, I need childcare because I have a kid." Like, and I joined the mom's class, and
Mm.
CrossFit gets a little bit of a bad rap because it is extreme fitness. It really is. But at the base of CrossFit is functional fitness, which everybody does. Most workouts are based on functional fitness. And so if you scale down the CrossFit, scale down the weight to the functional movements, it's like, oh, wait a minute, I can do this. And so I drank the Kool-Aid, joined the moms group, and all of a sudden my body was celebrated in what it could do. Like, I remember making them video me the first time I climbed the rope, because everybody dreads the rope climb in gym class, right? Because especially as females, we can't do it.
Exactly. I feel like you're bringing PTSD back to like every woman that ever hears this. Seriously.
You know why we can't do it? Because they don't teach us how to do it right for us,
True.
right? We
Yes.
are stronger in our lower body. We're not stronger in our upper body. We're not going to pull ourselves up that rope. But with the proper leg lock, we can climb that rope all the way to the top. And like, so through the moms group, it's like all of the sudden my body is being celebrated by what it's able to do, not what society tells me it's lacking. I was at the CrossFit gym for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, and then I decided to go get my level 1 and work on becoming a trainer. Like, the classes went fast because it was ever changing. It was all movements, all things, every part of the body, doing things you never thought you could do, doing things that you think you should be able to do, but then you can't. And you're like, well, crud, I got to work on that now. So I decided I really wanted to coach. Middle of COVID, I put a gym in my garage because, let's be real, it was sanity. I had 6 months old twins during COVID. If it wasn't for the gym in my garage, I would not have lived.
That's true. Hey.
Oh, it saved me for sure. And with that, I've changed my credentials a little bit. Mom life has like taken over. I've got 3 in hockey. The twins are about to start school. Like, busy. I look back to when I thought I was busy and I laugh at myself and tell me how cute it was because I had no idea. And that's the part that's really hard. I hear, and where I'm going with what I'm trying to do is, it's like I hear all of these people saying, well, if you really want it, you'll make the time. And it's like, you're right. If you really have that goal and you're really set on that, you will. But there's also that element of, there's moms like me where it's like, some days we have 5 minutes and that's what we have. And some days 5 minutes has to be good enough. So how do we maximize that 5 minutes and make that enough for that day, and make programs that will fit within your crazy busy life? Like, okay, you're at the hockey rink for an hour. Is there a space where you can do this workout while you're still kind of watching your kid and drinking your coffee, but you do this little workout, maximizing the time that you've got? And so that's kind of where I am. The majority of my clients are moms in some phase of their life, and so they're busy. Um, it's just finding that way to make it sustainable. Because as we all know, if we don't stick with it, the results, you get results, but then they reverse. And so what we really want is something that we can continue for the long haul. And I really love it when I hear clients. I had one just tell me the other day, she's like, we went to Mexico, and she's like, I was worried because I've obviously got to be in a bathing suit, and who wants to do that in the middle of winter after Christmas? And I'm like, yeah, but you've been working out. You're good. She's like, I got there. And she's like, you know what? I was throwing my kids in the waves, and I just had this moment of like, what do I care what anybody else thinks I look like in my bikini? Like, she's like, I know who I am. I know what I do. I know the people in my life that matter. I know I'm working towards my goals, and I'm maybe not perfect now, but I'm way better than I was 6 months ago. I'm gonna rock this. And I'm like, yay, like that's,
Yes.
so it's
Yes.
working towards that space of loving yourself right where you're at, because at the end of the day, let's be real, J-Lo, she looks phenomenal. She looks great. She also probably has a personal nutritionist, a personal trainer, a personal secretary, somebody to mow her lawn. Like, and sure, if I had that, maybe I would look like that too. But the other side is she's also got a lot of camera tricks, makeup, and angles. And I don't know if any of you have seen those Instagram posts where there's one that I love. I wish I had it to show right now, but it's this gal and she's very fit. She looks phenomenal, but she's clearly had some kids. Things aren't as taut as maybe society wants us to believe they should be. And she's showing all of that in like real form, and then she's like, oh, but wait, this is the only Instagram post we show. So then she turns, she sucks it in, she stands it up, she flexes and all of this, and it's like, oh, you are so right. Like,
Yeah.
what society shows us and what's real are two very different things. And so that's where I'm trying to like fit in that middle of like, let's love what is real. Like, let's be real with ourselves about what we are and aren't able to accomplish in a day. Let's be real about our diet. Like, let's get down to what are you eating and what is the impact of that? And why are you doing that? Is it necessity? Is it just time? Like, all of that. And then build something that can be carried out for the long haul. So yeah, that's my story.
I love this. I mean, there's so much I want to unpack here. First off, is the functional fitness part of it. Because who cares if you can bench press 500 pounds if you can't carry all your groceries in one trip? Like, this is about a lifestyle, right? I
Yes.
love that you do functional fitness. This
Yes.
is going to apply to every area of my life. It's going to help me live my life. It's not about how much I can do in the gym. It's about how can I function and be my best version of myself. I love that you
Well,
do that.
Well, and help to wake up without pain or at least less pain, right? Like I have a bad back, and that's kind of what led me in the functional fitness direction is it's like if I'm doing those functional movements with whatever weight I'm capable of doing that day because it changes, my back stays happy and I wake up relatively pain free and I don't have those days where I'm laid up on the couch and let's be real, you go to the doctor about that and they want to give you pills that mask the problem but don't fix it, and I am kind of a fixer. Like, what's directing this, like if I can strengthen my glutes and not have my back hurt, well then why wouldn't I strengthen my glutes? That seems a lot easier than taking a bunch of pain pills.
Exactly.
So that's the other part of it.
Yes, and you look good as well. The bonus,
Thank
you
you.
got a nice round booty. It's so, oh, absolutely true. That's, yeah, functional, that we can do the things we want to do, but we can do them without pain and we can enjoy life. Like it
Yes.
does. It makes life so much more enjoyable when we're healthy and fit and strong. It's incredible.
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure. For
So
sure.
good. And I love that the whole thing about balance too. You're like you're on such a journey. Yes, you are an entrepreneur and you have so much going on. But sometimes it gets messy for all of
Yeah,
us,
for
right?
sure.
And it's like, how
Yeah.
am I going to make this work? Like, but
Mhm.
you figure it out. You journey along, you keep going, you take the step after step every day towards your goals, and then we figure it out along the way. And recently one of the gals in our group training with whole body nutrition, she mentioned having balance without guilt. And
Yes.
like that's powerful, right? And it's a
It
journey
is.
of like what you said you've been on and figuring that out. You can
Oh
have
yeah.
balance in your life where you do the things you want to do, but you do it so it fits into your lifestyle, whether it's at the hockey arena. You do it so it fits into your lifestyle and you don't have to feel guilty about it.
No. When you're really attacking your goals, have those hard conversations with yourself about what is your true heart of heart, worst day ever, don't care about anybody else. What is that goal? And I know for me, it's I want to be able to keep up and be there for my kids. Maybe it's wild, crazy adventures with their crazy old mom. Those are the things I want to be enough for my kids and be there. And it's like, okay, so how, when you start unpacking that, it's like, what does that look like? Well, I need to not be in pain all the time. I need to be healthy enough to get up out of bed and do the things every day. I need to be of sound mind as much as one can be, right? You got to be a little crazy in this world to
Whatever that
survive.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks different for all of us. But when you start unpacking that, then it's like, okay, I need that lifestyle then, because none of those things are going to happen overnight. I mean, I have clients ask me all the time, I don't specialize in nutrition. I said I have a great resource, Whole Vine Nutrition, like check them out. But what I do know is I have been revamping my family's nutrition for 7 years,
Mm.
and we're still not there.
Yeah.
We're better than where we were 7 years ago, but we're not perfect. And that's okay, because it's that whole 1% better every day. I mean, that's 1% better every day. When I have a new client, my first phrase to them when they walk in my gym is, I do not promise weight loss. And if that's what you're after, because there's the whole apples to marshmallows comparison. It's like
Yeah.
3 small apples, approximately, give or take, equals a pound. I've weighed it out. It took 25 jumbo, I'm talking those big ones that are like the size of your forehead, marshmallows,
Oh,
to equal a pound. So when you think about 25 marshmallows versus 3 apples, right? Muscle to fat ratio, it's like, okay, the scale doesn't tell the whole story. It's a helpful tool, but it doesn't tell the whole story. And what we want is that strength. We want the mental health. We want to be thinking, okay, I'm eating to fuel my body, not, rewarding myself because I worked out hard.
it's so true. And I always say to ladies, what's more important to you? Being able to do the things you want to do, carry the things, lift your grandkids, whatever it is, or the number on that little tin box that's
Yeah.
in your bathroom that nobody's going to see. There's just so much more than the scale. Like you said, yeah, the scale is a good tool sometimes, but man, we can't get caught up on that.
I'll be totally honest. Beginning usually about November through to about March, I avoid my scale, and on a personal level, just because life gets insane there in that period for me, it seems, every year. And I just find that removing that and just saying, okay, you're going to do the best you can today. You're going to do the best that you can do with today, and make, if you have a meal where you're like, we've got to do the drive-through thing. It's like, okay, well then maybe add a salad to dinner, right? I'm really working on that vegetable and fruit situation in my family. And so it's that space of taking it in small chunks of time, having those little wins. And so for me, like, there's periods of time where I have to just give myself that grace of like, it's insane, it's going to be what it's going to be, so you're going to do the best that you can each time a choice is presented, and then you're going to move past it and not worry about it, because I
Yeah.
think we get hung up in that guilt cycle, and then that degrades us as well, right? We start, oh well, I ate terrible yesterday, and it's like, okay, well, that was yesterday, so what are you going to do today? Like,
Yes.
yesterday's done, we can't redo it. There's not a crystal ball with a rewind button. So
Yeah.
just, okay, I didn't make the best choices, I'm going to learn from that. The other thing I've really started challenging all of my clients is like, I'm not as concerned about what you eat. I'm concerned about how it makes you feel. Because when you start asking yourself that question, intuitive eating and eating well is, it actually gets easier, because I know if I go have a bunch of pizza, I know if I don't match, and I'm talking like half a pizza size full of celery and carrots, I am going to feel like dog by the time I go to bed. And the next day, my workout will suffer. And so it's like, when you start thinking about it as, how am I going to fuel this machine, and with what? And sometimes you got to do the pizza. Sometimes you just do, and that's okay. But learning to recognize how the different food groups make you feel is huge. Because then you're
Uh,
like, I'm just not going to eat that because it doesn't make me feel good. Like, I don't
right.
want, not that I'm on a diet or I can't have it or any of that. It's just, it doesn't make me feel good. And so, no, thank you. And
Yes.
that is empowering as well.
Yes, exactly. I love that. I'm all about intuitive eating. Absolutely. And that's such a better motivator than, oh, I want to lose the pound this week. No, I want to feel good. I
Yes.
want to have the energy. I want to know that I'm fueling my body with what it needs. Such a good motivator. Okay. What would you say to somebody that's like, I don't know, like, how do I figure out what my goal is? Or how do I know what's going to propel me to get to my goal with my health or with my weight loss or that kind of thing?
Yeah. So for me, what I coach people to is, I like them to pick 7 goals you'd like to change, 7 areas aren't where you want them,
Mm,
but
yeah.
you want them to change, and then rank them easiest to hardest to change. Like, my first one would be drink more water. I'm terrible at it, but that's easy to do, right? Like, I don't have to change a lot about my life to drink more water. I just
Mm.
have to actively do it. And maybe the next one is vegetable at every meal or less scrolling on my phone. Come up with like 7 of those maybe superficial goals, those lesser, not so deep goals. You rate them easiest to hardest, and then tackle number 1. Just spend anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 weeks, whatever you need, but saying, okay, I'm just going to drink more water. That's the only change I'm making right now. That's it. Make that your focus. Do it really well. Make it that focus until it's a habit, and then add in number 2. Now, drinking more water is a habit. So now I am actively seeking vegetable at every meal. And if you continue to do that, and I think, and what I hope you're hearing in this is not a short-term process. This is a process that evolves over years, because your best version of yourself doesn't happen overnight. But that's what we all want, is the best version of ourselves. That's how I coach my clients through that. Is it's like you just take the baby steps, right? And then it also helps you to learn how to adapt that in your normal life, on the good days, the bad days, the busy days, the vacation days.
Mm.
And that's where like that intuitive eating, the intuitive, that, oh my gosh, I am stressed out and I am cranky, I need to go work out. And like my husband and I say that to each other all the time. Like he came home the other day, I was like, I think you need to go to the gym. Like, and he's like, I think you're right. And I'm like, I got dinner. I got you just, and it takes giving yourself grace, and it takes
Mm.
finding that accountability, and however that accountability looks for you.
Mm.
But finding those things is so much easier when you're focusing on one thing at a time and getting really good at it, and then moving on to the next. Because like we don't expect our kids to walk into kindergarten and be able to do all of the things. We teach them the ABCs. Then we teach them, how the letters sound. Then we teach them how to put them together into words and how to read. Like we don't do it all at once. And it's kind of the same concept, really.
That's great. That's a great illustration. Yes, and we don't expect perfection. Why do we put that upon ourselves? It's not a thing. It's not going to
No,
happen here. Progress and incorporating it into your lifestyle. I love that.
you
Okay,
have to, or else it goes away. Like it just,
exactly. It's not going to last. Then it's just like going back on a yo-yo diet again, right? It's no, and we are on a mission to end
I'm
that.
tired of those. I don't have time for yo-yo diets anymore.
Exactly.
They're not
Exactly.
fun.
Right. Yeah, it's not nice. Oh, okay. So our 3 takeaways, I'm thinking balance without guilt. Balance
Yeah,
without guilt, making this your lifestyle.
yeah,
Number 2, get clear, very clear on your deep down why that you want to even reach that goal,
yeah,
and on your goal. And then setting those 7 things that you want to accomplish and prioritizing them and starting with the easiest. I love
yeah,
that. I love
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah. Because otherwise, if it's too hard, we are all a little bit perfectionist at heart, and we all really aren't so great at giving ourselves grace. And so, yeah, that's why you start with the easy. And that would be the only other thing I would add, is just, get rid of that perfectionism. Nobody's perfect, but you have to be accountable as well.
So good. Okay. One practical step that they
Yes.
could do starting today. What would you say?
I love this because I have started a small daily challenge.
Hmm.
And so, like this month, I'm doing lunges. It's 50 per side lunges. It takes me sub 5 minutes. I can do it in my socks, in my bare feet, in my PJs. I can do it in just about any location. I just have to do it every day. The overall prescription of it is one movement, 5 minutes, a challenging number. Your number is going to look different than my number. Everybody's number is different, but come up with that daily challenge, because what's happening, 5 minutes of work in my socks, no big deal. I can do that. I do it. Well, then those endorphins, those magic things that are released when you start working out, you're like, well, I've got more, and I've got 15 minutes. So I'm going to crank out this workout over here. I have a standing monthly appointment with my physical therapist. And for 2 months in a row since I've started this, I've gone to him and I'm like, I don't have any pain. I don't know where to tell you to start.
Wow.
And that for me is like, okay, we're doing this, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and it literally less than 5 minutes. You can do it in your PJs. I told one person, she's like, well, I forgot. And then I was going to crawl in bed. I said, then do it beside your bed and then fall into bed. But yeah, just picking one teeny tiny little challenge and doing it every day.
I love it. And so simple, quick,
Mm-hmm.
easy. I love that. So do one little thing. And you know what else that does? It builds up your self confidence because you're
For sure.
keeping your word to yourself, actually doing what you said you're going
Yep.
to do. Even though it's the tiniest little thing, like you said, you can set your time or your number yourself. So
Yep.
it's challenging, but it's doable.
Yep.
I love that. That's so good. So that's our practical step. Hey,
Yep.
from today on, pick one thing and set your time or your amount, and every day do that one thing that's going to challenge you. I love that so much, Keely. That
Yep.
is great.
It's
Okay. Thank you so much, Keely. Let's finish one thing. Best advice you've ever received.
oh, pick your pain.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I don't, it sounds so negative, but in this world, when you push yourself to pick what you're going to endure, so pick your
That's good.
pain.
That's good. I feel like we need to have another talk and expand on that. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun.
Thank you for joining me today on Renewed and Radiant. I hope today's conversation sparked something in you, a shift, a question, or even a bold new intention. If you loved this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with another amazing woman. Until next time, stay strong, stay empowered, and keep showing up for yourself. Because you, my friend, are just getting started on designing a life you love.